If you're experiencing detox symptoms during your water fast, you clicked the right video. And no, you're not dying, so don't worry. I've literally helped over 8,500 people go through the fasting process doing our challenges. And the detox symptoms are the #1 reason that people quit before the real healing begins. But here's what everyone is missing. Those symptoms aren't a sign that something is wrong. They're actually proof that something is finally going right. Your body is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. The problem is most people don't understand what's actually happening inside their body. So when these symptoms hit, it makes them fearful and it makes them stop. Today, I'm gonna break down exactly what these symptoms are, what they mean, why they happen, and how to get through them so that you can finally get to the other side of healing. Let's get into it. Here's something that the mainstream health world has completely backwards. When you get a runny nose, a headache, fatigue, chills, we've been taught to think that something is wrong. We reach for medication, we call the doctor, we treat it like an attack on our body. But what if those symptoms weren't an attack? What if they were the cleanup crew? I want you to think about it this way. Your body is like a house that you've been living in for 30, 40, 50 years. It's never had a deep clean, okay? So you've got stuff built up on the wall, in the pipes, in the corners that you never look at. And the moment you start fasting, you give your body the energy it normally spends digesting food, and it redirects that energy towards cleaning out everything that's been sitting there forever. Cold and flu symptoms and detox symptoms are close relatives. They're basically the same thing. So a runny nose, the fatigue, the body aches. When you get sick, that's your body trying to expel an irritant. When you fast, that's exactly what your body is doing. It's doing the same thing. It's just without that external trigger that you would get from an irritant. So the body is self-regulating. It knows exactly what doesn't belong in there. And when you give it space to work, it gets to work. So the first thing is a mindset shift. I want you guys to make that right now. Detox symptoms are not a red flag. They're actually a green light. They're proof that the body is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And let's start with the one that sends people running to break their fast more than anything else. And that's hunger pangs. Y'all, hunger pangs during a fast are not what you think they are. We've been taught that hunger means that your body needs food. And that's not exactly what's happening. What your body is actually feeling when those pangs hit is your intestinal tract cleaning. It's preparing the way that it always does around the same time that you normally eat. See, your body is a creature of habit. So it's used to receiving food at a certain time. So it prepares, it contracts, it gets ready. But that's not a distress signal. It's literally a habit signal. And here's the powerful part. Because it's a habit, you can change it. So the more consistently you fast, the less frequently you're going to experience those intense hunger pangs. See, the body learns a new pattern. And this is something that we teach inside every single one of our challenges, because once you understand what hunger pangs actually are, they lose their power over you completely. Now, beyond hunger pangs, I'm going to give you guys a list of what you might experience. And I want you to write this down. But if you guys have one of our fasting journals, I actually have a guide in there that you can just follow along. So headaches, that's extremely common, especially if you're a coffee drinker or you consume a lot of caffeine regularly. As your body detoxes the caffeine out of your system, headaches come with it. And here's exactly what you need to do. Step 1, which would be your prep week. In the 7 days before your fast, start drinking a minimum of 1 gallon of high quality water every day. Sun charge your water by placing a clear glass jar in direct sunlight for 4 to 8 hours. All right, this is going to restructure the water molecules and make them more easily absorbable by the body at a cellular level. When your body is properly hydrated going into the fast, the intensity of the caffeine withdrawals and the headaches drop dramatically. So step 2, guys. Peppermint essential oil. The moment that your headache starts, do 1 to 2 drops of peppermint essential oil, put it in the palm of your hands, rub it together, apply it to your temples, apply it to the back of the skull, apply it to the forehead. All right, don't get it in the eyes, it's gonna burn. But this is great for alleviating tension almost immediately. Okay, make sure that you're using a therapeutic grade brand. We recommend doTERRA. You could always use Young Living. You know, there's plenty of options out there. Step 3 for headaches. You guys can get some sea salt. Okay, so if you have a headache and it's persistent, take a grain of a high quality sea salt, not table salt, not pink Himalayan salt, a high quality sea salt. You're gonna place that under the tongue. You're gonna let it dissolve. Then you're gonna drink about 16 ounces of water slowly and allow that sea salt to draw the water into your cells. And this is kind of like a quick and easy way to pull hydration in quickly. It usually works within about 20 to 30 minutes. Now, the next thing you could do, if your headaches are reoccurring and they're intense throughout your fast, this is a sign that your body is releasing a heavy toxic load and the elimination pathways need support. So Clean Slate is a nano-sized zeolite supplement that traps heavy metals and glyphosates as well as other contaminants and is going to help move it out of the system efficiently. When toxins have a clear exit route, the pressure that causes headaches significantly reduce. So take it as directed on the bottle. Stay consistent with your water intake alongside of it. That's very important. Next, when you're on your fast, your blood pressure can naturally drop. That's actually a good thing in the long run. But in the short run, it can make you feel lightheaded, especially when you stand up too fast. So here's some step-by-steps for managing this. Step 1. I want you guys to move slowly and intentionally. Now, this sounds simple, but most people ignore it. When you're laying down or sitting, give yourself a full 10 seconds or so before you stand up completely. Let your body adjust. Dizziness from low blood pressure during a fast is almost always positional, meaning that it hits hardest when you change the position too quickly. So slow down for every transition. Step 2. I want you guys to stay away from heat exposure. So hot showers, saunas, steam rooms, they can all cause the blood vessels to kind of dilate further, which will drop your blood pressure even more. Okay, during the first several days of your fast, when dizziness is common, take lukewarm showers, keep them short. Also save the sauna for after your body's kind of stabilized with fast. Another thing you guys could do is grab some rosemary essential oil. All right, this is one of the most underrated tools you can use for dizziness and low blood pressure during a fast. You just apply 1 to 2 drops at the back of your neck, the bottom of your feet. Rosemary stimulates circulation and helps bring the blood flow back to the brain. You can also inhale it directly from the bottle or diffuse it in the room where you are. Again, make sure this is a therapeutic grade oil. The next step, rest without guilt. And I want to say this clearly because people fight it. If your body is weak and dizzy and your body is telling you that it's using its energy for internal cleanup, do not try to push through a workout. Do not try to perform at work the way you normally would. Okay, if you could take the day off or maybe even 2 days off during the heaviest detox period, do it. Sleep is as much a part of this process as anything else. See, the weakness is temporary. So what your body is doing inside, this is a permanent change. So support your body as best you can. Step 5. If the weakness becomes significant, I want you guys to cold steep some cucumbers, key limes, mint, and you're going to put it in about a gallon of distilled water for 4 hours. So plant energy and the minerals from the fruit will infuse into the water. It will structure it. It will give you the gentle lift without causing you to break your fast or without shutting down the detox process. Now, the skin is what we call the third kidney. It's a detox organ. The body doesn't prefer to use it. It would rather eliminate through the colon and the liver. But when those pathways are sluggish or blocked, then the body's going to push out toxins through the skin. Here's exactly what you need to do if this happens. Step 1. I want you guys to open up the primary elimination pathways first. The reason the body is using the skin is because the colon and the liver are backed up. So the first thing I want you to do is address the root of the problem, not the symptom. Okay? This is where a castor pack is going to come into play. So what you do is get some hexane-free castor oil, place it on a cloth, and then place that directly over the liver on the right-hand side, right underneath the rib cage. You're going to wear it overnight. The castor oil stimulates liver function and encourages bile flow. This is going to help open up the elimination pathway so the body has somewhere to send all those toxins before it uses the skin. Now, if you do this every night during your fasting process, you'll probably see the skin start to reduce, especially if you get skin eruptions and rashes. This is going to help. The second thing we're going to do is support the colon. Okay, so if your bowel movements are slow or stagnated, the toxins have nowhere to go. So the skin becomes the backup exit. Restore by the Root Wellness brand is a supplement that's designed to restore gut motility, increase microbiome diversity, and it helps get things going in the colon. So like once the colon is functioning properly, your skin will get a break. The third thing you could use to like stop skin eruptions is you can grab some lavender essential oil with a carrier oil in it. Okay, something that's for the skin itself. So don't use a steroid or cream or synthetic product. because it's going to dry the area out. Take a high quality fractionated coconut oil as your carrier. You're going to add 2 to 3 drops of your therapeutic grade lavender essential oil. You're going to gently apply it to the affected area because lavender is anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and it's deeply soothing, especially related to skin irritation. It can calm the surface of the skin without a reaction and without suppressing the detox symptoms. So this is the difference between soothing and suppressing. And we always want to soothe and never suppress. Step 4 is actually let it peak and pass. You guys need to hear this. The breakouts may get worse before they get better. Okay, this is normal. This is the body pushing out the last bit of what it needs to get done. If you suppress it with a cream or medicine, you're going to send those toxins back inward. Let the body finish its job. When it does, many people find that the skin conditions that they're dealt with for years, so we're talking psoriasis, eczema, chronic acne, they improve dramatically or disappear entirely. The next issue people really get worried about are irregular heart issues. Irregular heartbeat, heart murmur, fluttering of the heart. Those types of things happen on a fast, okay? And this one is very scary, and I understand why. But here's what's actually happening. The body is working to reharmonize the heartbeat. I want you guys to think about a defibrillator. It shocks the heart back into rhythm, okay? So the body has the ability to do this naturally during fasting. When I did my first extended fast, I experienced extreme heart palpitations, worse than I'd ever experienced in my life. Now, I kept going because I had done some research and I kind of understood or believed I knew what was happening. But by the time I came out of the fasting process, my heart rhythm had improved dramatically. So I actually didn't get heart palpitations ever again. To this day, I've never got them. Another reason why people get heart palpitations on their fast is because the body is actually pushing out pharmaceutical drugs that they have ingested over the past decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, whatever the case may be. We think when we take a drug in, it works for a period of time and then it's out, but it actually gets imparted into the blood. And so when you start fasting, the body starts pulling and leaching that stuff out of the blood. It's kind of like you're getting an influx of this chemical in your system all at one time. It's not exactly like an overdose, but the body is self-regulating. So it starts to change the frequency of the heartbeat to deal with this. The first thing I want you guys to understand is before you react, heart palpitations during the fast is a reharmonizing of the electrical rhythm of the heart. So the heart is like a muscle, just like any other muscle. It can develop imbalances over time from inflammation, poor diet, mineral deficiency. Fasting is going to give the body the energy to address those imbalances directly. So heart palpitations are kind of part of the process. A lot of people are going to experience them. Step 2 to kind of dealing with this is you can get some ylang ylang essential oil. Ylang ylang is one of the most well-documented essential oils for cardiovascular support, heart rhythm regularity. All you got to do is apply 1 to 2 drops over the heart, okay, the center of your chest, and you're going to massage it in gently. You can also apply it inside the wrists and inhale deeply. Ylang ylang has a natural calming effect on the nervous system, and it's been shown to support healthy blood pressure and heart rate. So use it at the first sign of heart palpitations and then just repeat throughout the day if you feel it's necessary. Step 3 to deal with heart palpitations is to get some sea salt for mineral support. So heart palpitations are often intensified by mineral deficiency, specifically magnesium and potassium. Your body needs those minerals for proper electrical signaling to the heart. So a single grain of sea salt under the tongue followed by 16 ounces of water is going to help to rebalance the system fairly quickly. Okay, you don't need to use electrolyte drinks or sports drinks, which are going to be loaded with synthetic chemicals and dyes and all that type of stuff. You could use something as simple as sea salt. The 4th step to deal with heart palpitations is stillness and breath work. When heart palpitations hit, the worst thing you could do is panic, because panic is going to activate the sympathetic nervous system and is going to make the heart work harder. Instead, sit, lie down immediately. Take slow, deep breaths in through the nose for a 4 count, hold for 4 counts, and then out through the mouth for a 6 count. You do this for 5 minutes, and this is going to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. This is your rest and digest mode. And this is going to signal the heart, hey, slow down, regulate. Okay, if you combine this with ylang, most people find that the heart palpitations are going to pass fairly quickly. Now, here's where things get interesting, because the symptoms I just listed, most people have at least heard of those. But there are a few detox symptoms that catch people off guard completely. And these are the ones that make people think that something has gone seriously wrong. So the next up is fasting insomnia. Let's say you're 3 to 5 days into your fast, you go to sleep, and then you wake up at 3 a.m. completely wide awake, and you cannot get back to sleep. Your brain is sharp, your body feels alert, you're looking at the clock and you're thinking, I literally only got 4 hours of sleep. Something's wrong. What's going on? The reality is nothing's wrong. Here's what's actually happening. Normally, a massive amount of your body's daily energy goes towards digesting food. So when you fast, that energy gets redirected, and some of it goes towards healing, but some of it becomes available to you as raw, clean energy. So your body doesn't really need as much sleep to restore as it typically would. And so when this happens, don't fight it. I recommend just get up, read, work on something, use that time efficiently. And if you want support getting into that deep sleep so that you do get the rest that you need, a high quality lavender essential oil is going to be one of the best tools we've found. Once again, not the cheap stuff, get a therapeutic grade. You just apply it to your bedding before you go to sleep. Personally, I like to work with a light therapy patch. So one of our affiliate partners called LifeWave has a patch called Silent Nights. And Silent Nights helps the body to naturally increase melatonin production, which is going to help you stay asleep, but it's also going to help you get more out of your sleep, okay? So I'll leave you a link in the comment section for all the tools that I recommend during this video so you guys can check them out. One of the detoxes people really don't know is coming is an emotional detox. And in my opinion, this one is really powerful. So around 8, 9, 10, 11 days or so of an extended fast, you might start to experience waves of emotion that seem to come out of nowhere. So we're talking sadness, anger, grief, and even joy, okay? Sometimes it happens all in one afternoon. Here's what's actually happening. Food is one of the most common ways that humans suppress emotion. So we eat when we're stressed. We eat when we're sad. We eat when we're bored. When you remove food from the equation, those suppressed emotions start to surface. The body is going to detox them out the same way that it detoxes physical toxins. It's going to bring them up and push them out. I have seen people resolve childhood trauma through extended fasting. I've seen people come out of 21-day fast lighter in ways that you can't really see on the scale. So we used to host a live class called the 40-Day Wellness Class. And it's a private group, so I'm going to keep the participations information anonymous. But one of the ladies that used to be in our class, she had been dealing with about 30 pounds that she couldn't seem to really get rid of. She couldn't keep it off, at least. Even with fasting, it would come back. One of the exercises involved is we had participants do a deep dive into their relationship with others. Now, she had identified that a relationship she had with an estranged family member had been impacting her in ways she couldn't account for. So, after performing the task that we set for her during that class, she also was fasting and adjusting her diet. She experienced extreme waves of emotion. And after that fast, which I believe was about 5 days, she dropped an enormous amount of weight in that time. So it was maybe like 15, 25 pounds. But she could also feel the burden had lifted. She also began building a relationship with that family member again. And I would love to invite you guys to check out the 40-Day Wellness Class. So I'll leave the link to that in the comment section along with the tools and everything else. But if you feel a wave of emotion during your fast, my suggestion is let it come. Don't try to suppress it. Don't reach for food to numb it. Let the body finish what it started, because on the other side of that emotional detox is one of the most peaceful feelings you may ever experience. Now that you guys know what to expect, and you have like a step-by-step remedy for each symptom, let's talk about how you can get ahead of all of this before it even starts, because the best detox symptom is the one that you never have to experience in the first place. I hope you guys have been taking notes, because we are diving deep. The single most powerful thing you could do to reduce a detox symptom is to prepare the body before you begin the fast. We call this a prep week, and it is a non-negotiable for our challenges. And I want to show you exactly how it works day by day. Okay, so on days 1 and 2 of your prep, you're going to skip breakfast completely. You're going to cut your meals down to 2 meals per day, no snacking in between. You're going to start your morning with 16 ounces of sun-charged water We talked about that earlier. The goal is about 1 gallon of liquid per day. So throughout this prep process, you could be doing a combination of water, herbal teas, and fresh pressed juice. This is also when you start to taper off of caffeine. So I don't want you guys to do it cold turkey. I want you to do it gradually. And then that way you're gonna eliminate the headaches ahead of time, right? We talked about that earlier. On days 3 and 4, I want you to shift your largest meal as close to noon as possible and start reducing the density of the foods you eat. So we're moving away from heavy, dense foods and replacing them with fruits and high water content foods. I want you guys thinking like watermelon, cucumbers, berries, leafy greens. The body's going to start to lighten its load, and I want you to keep that gallon of liquid going every single day. Now, I already know some of you guys are gonna pull up a Google article and say, Chris, I read that drinking too much water can kill you. And technically that's true. It's called drowning, y'all. But let's put that into context and talk about the actual science. Now, the CDC guidelines state that you should not consume more than 48 ounces of water in a single hour. We are asking you to drink 1 gallon, which is 128 ounces, spread out over the course of 10 or more waking hours. That's roughly 13 ounces per hour, and you're not even in the same zip code as what is dangerous. So if someone sends you an article saying how dangerous it is, send them this video, because a gallon of water spread out throughout the entire day is not water intoxication. It's basic hydration, and the body needs every drop of it in order to detox out all of these chemicals that we're asking it to do, okay? So day 5, begin doing OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. This is gonna be the bridge between fasting and eating, okay? Your body's going to be learning to operate on less food so that your ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, is starting to recalibrate. We want them spikes to be less frequent and less intense. This is exactly why people who skip the prep week struggle so much, especially in the first 48 hours, because they never gave their body time to adjust. So on day 6, I want you guys to begin juice fasting. Okay, you can have any juice you want in any quantity that you want. Make sure that the juice is fresh pressed, it is non-pasteurized, and doesn't have preservatives. That's very important. This is also when you can start using your castor pack, which is one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal, right? You're gonna put the castor oil on the cloth, place it over the liver. We talked about that earlier. You're gonna start sleeping with that every night. The liver is the master detox organ. So when it's functioning at a high level and you're fasting, your elimination pathways are open, the toxins are gonna be released, they're gonna have somewhere to go, okay? So when these pathways are blocked, that's when your detox symptoms start to overwhelm. Right? We talked about this a little bit earlier. You're going to see headaches. You're going to see skin eruptions. It's going to make everything much harder. So basically, you're opening the exits before the cleanup crew arrives. On day 7, I want you guys to continue your juice fast, but at least 12 hours of the day, you're going to be doing green juice only. So it just means low glycemic juice. You're going to start cleaning the digestional tract and letting the body release the sugar. So the last 12 hours of the day, just say from noon until you go to sleep, do green juice only. Okay guys, on day 8, you're gonna begin your fasting process. So 7 days of intentional preparation, that's when your fast is going to start. Your body's gonna be hydrated, your hunger hormone is regulated, your elimination pathways are wide open. The people who do this prep and still experience intense detox symptoms are literally the exception. The people who skip it and then suffer from day 1, 2, and 3, wondering why they feel terrible, that's the rule. So prep week is not optional. It is going to be the difference maker. All right. Even with the best prep, y'all, some detox symptoms are still going to show up, and that's okay. That's the process. But there are tools that you could use to make a dramatic difference and make the symptoms more manageable. And now that you know which symptoms each tool is going to target, you can build your own support kit before you start. Okay? Let me bring this all together because I want you guys to walk away from this video not just informed, but genuinely unafraid of what your body is about to do. When I very first started fasting, I made a decision. I decided that every detox symptom I experienced was going to be a good thing. Not because I was trying to be positive, but because I understood what was happening, okay? I'm the type of guy, if I go to the bar and I order a drink, I want to be able to taste what's going on in there. I want to be able to taste the alcohol. Otherwise, I don't know what's in there. To me, detox symptoms is like that feeling you get when you have a hard drink. It's like, you know, there's something in there. It's working. Okay. Now you have something that I didn't have on my first fast. You have a full picture. You know what each symptom means. You know what to reach for to help aid you. You know how to prepare before you start doing your fast. Look, your past attempts were just practice rounds, right? You didn't have the information you needed. Now you do, and that changes everything. I want you guys to take this information and I want you to go and do. Here's something I also learned through my first fast. Detox symptoms get dramatically easier when you don't do it alone. Fasting with my brother helped me mentally and psychologically get past the detox symptoms, because it's one thing to know and understand, okay, what the detox symptoms are doing. It's another thing when you try to fight against your brain because your brain's telling you, stop doing this. Why are you doing this? You're punishing yourself. You're hurting yourself. And then you've got nobody there to support you and be like, help quiet that noise. So when you're in a community of 500 people and they're all of like mind, and someone posts in the group saying, y'all, I feel terrible. And then there's 50 people saying, I felt the same way yesterday, but today I feel amazing. Like, just keep pushing. That's not just motivation. That's the people around you becoming the reason that you push through. This is exactly why we structure our challenges the way that they are. We have the coaches. We have the sixth man of the year, which is the community. That's not a bonus. That's literally one of the main mechanisms that makes this whole thing work. Listen, your body has never been broken. It's been overloaded, undernourished, and undersupported. But the intelligence is still there. The ability to self-regulate is still there. Every single detox symptom that you guys experience on a fast is evidence of the body's intelligence, okay? The headache, the clearing the caffeine out, pushing the toxins through the skin, through every available channel, all right? The emotional wave that the body is releasing because food was suppressing it before and now it's not. The heart palpitations, which is the body reharmonizing and pushing pharmaceuticals out of the blood. None of this is random. None of this is dangerous when you understand it and when you do it right, okay? All of this is your body doing exactly what it's designed to do. And when you finally give it space to do it, it exceeds. Now y'all understand that detox symptoms are nothing to be afraid of. They're actually the sign that the body is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. But something that will blow your mind. What if you could push through those detox symptoms and lose half a year's worth of weight in just 2 weeks? If that interests you, I want you to check out that video right here where I'm going to show you exactly how to make that happen. Remember, the application of knowledge is power, and I will see you all next time. Peace.